This week in the Big 12, can UCF go on the road and upset Florida? Could Texas Tech and Arizona be a shootout? And will West Virginia right the ship against Oklahoma State? Let's get the Big 12 squad together. Time for the longest intro in the world.
You're talking ball with the Big 12 squad. From Oklahoma State to Utah, from Kansas State to BYU, from Houston to Texas Tech, it's the local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network bringing you scoops, breakdowns, and the most comprehensive preview of the upcoming Big 12 weekend. Buckle up. It's the Big 12 squad, and we have a seat for you. No hurt feelings and thin skin allowed. Squad up. You're part of the Big 12 squad.
Happy Thursday night, everybody. Welcome into the Big 12 squad. I'm Drake Toll from Locked On Big 12, and it's time for you to sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and join us as we get you ready for another wild week across the Big 12. Spencer McLaughlin of Locked On College Football is here for some reason alongside JT Wistersill of Locked On Utes, who, by the way, the Utes, congratulations, a big 31-13 win over Arizona. They covered as we all expected. They remain undefeated in Big 12 play. So exciting for the best team in the conference. It's going to kick... Oh no. I'm reading the script that JT wrote for me. Yeah, turns out Utah lost to Arizona. We'll hear from JT and plenty more. Cam Stewart of Locked On Baylor, who is the new head coach at Baylor. They have promoted Cameron Stewart to the
upgrade,
head coach.
Instant upgrade.
And a contract extension. Yeah. Can you believe that?
Parker
yes, I can, Tom Brenneman.
I have not had power for the last 110 hours in Savannah, Georgia. The Houston offense hasn't had power in 3 weeks. Chris Level of Locked On Texas Tech, Jay Catch of Locked On BYU Cougars, Kevin Borba of Locked On Buffs. Guys, first and foremost, the biggest storyline this week, Jimmy Carter, 100 years old. Just want to say happy birthday. Hopefully by the time this show drops, everything's still going okay. Hopefully.
Do you think he's pondering a second term at some point?
48 hour, he's old enough to be in Congress. The guy did it. The guy, Jake, took the beefy 5-layer burrito and he put it there. He put it right there. That was a lot for me to handle, but we've got to start there this week.
Well, imagine my surprise. All of a sudden, I open my Twitter feed, my For You tab opens up, and then suddenly, certain burrito is sticking somewhere where it shouldn't stick. So yeah, it's an image that's indelibly etched in my mind. I will never get it out. Let's put it that way.
You can't say the guy didn't have evidence.
This Big 12 thing threw up all our algorithms. I was not anticipating that on Saturday. That was not.
I'm glad we all got it. I'm glad that we're all in the same timeline. That we, hopefully, Chris, who is the consummate professional of the group, has not yet seen the picture of half a beefy 5-layer burrito sticking out of an arch.
Oh, I saw the bag on the guy's head. Yeah, it was a problem. And file that under things you wish you could unsee. But no, we're all here.
Oh, man. JT Wistersill, Utah was supposed to go undefeated and win the Big 12, man. You were real happy a couple weeks ago. What's going on in your world?
Well, I'm just glad I didn't promise to eat anything or put any types of foods in any places.
Since the beefy 5-layer burrito happened, Kansas State blew out Oklahoma State. Since the dog poop cup guy, Florida State's 1-4. I'm just saying. You deliver on your promises. You deliver and you win.
Utah did not deliver, though, on Saturday. What a disappointing performance, and particularly in the red zone, right? I mean, your first 3 trips, you get inside the 20, and you come away with 3 points. The first 2 drives, you completely stall out. Isaac Wilson struggled against an Arizona secondary that I thought played really well, and then the play calling for Utah wasn't there. Noah Fafita and Tetairoa McMillan looked like the team that we saw end the season last year, but Utah just simply wasn't good enough. If this team wants to win the Big 12, I guess there's a world they could do it with Isaac Wilson. It feels incredibly unlikely. They need Cam Rising back, and we still have absolutely no idea when and if he's going to come back.
Hold on, JT. At some level, in the best way, Utah has always been described as the best boring team out west because they just play this boring style of winning football. But now Utah is taking on a whole different level of boring. Is Cam Rising going to play? It's like Stewie bothering Lois in the bedroom. It's just, mommy. Like, can the guy either medically retire or play, please?
You call it boring. I mean, it's infuriating. I'm pulling all my hair out at this point, Spencer. I mean, it's insane. We've been doing this for 2 years.
He did it. That's insane. You got to warn people before you do. We have to cut that out of the show. We can't show people
Election
that.
is killer. Yeah.
Hey, take it all the way off. Take that hat off. Let's get a good.
Yeah, Chris is.
Yes.
There's still a chance he plays this year. If he doesn't play, then we're going straight ball all the way. That's a promise.
Chris is there desperately wanting JT to take his hat off so he can feel good about his hairline.
On audio, that was NC-13, whatever they call it, X-rated. JT Witherspoon took his hat off and there was no hair. Kevin Borba, you cover the Colorado Buffaloes, maybe one of the best teams in the Big 12. How did that happen?
Just how we drew it up, right? No, I think realistically, the defense.
And you've been singing that song since day one. No one has supported Colorado more.
The fans don't think so. I'm a hater. They hated me. I projected Colorado to lose 35-31, and people would have thought that I was like Deion Sanders was going to get fired by the next day. Realistically,
that.
They shut down the run. UCF is the best running team in college football, and they only rushed for 177 yards after beating up on lowly teams, including TCU and Sam Houston. I got to give credit to New Hampshire. I think they're a good team, but TCU, Sam Houston, not very good teams. And TCU ran all over them, and Colorado shut them down, and they got big plays on defense, 4 turnovers total, and then you can't really keep up with Colorado's offense if you're playing from behind the 8 ball, and that's where that's where UCF lived all game.
Isn't that the beauty of this league, though? Is like I would have bet my house on UCF holding serve at home. And with Big Noon there, all the stuff, and Colorado can't stop the run, and this is the way this league's going to be every week. I mean, it's maddening. Again, it's awesome, but I mean, it just some of it makes no sense, like that result. But I mean, Colorado, man, all respect to the Buffs, man, because they hammered them.
Yeah, their defense.
There are a lot of.
Sorry, Spencer. They've given up
Kevin.
one touchdown in each second half of the whole season, right? They held Nebraska scoreless. Like their defense has really turned it up. And last year they had one of the worst defenses in the country. So I think you're seeing what a really high octane offense can do with a high powered defense as well. And Cormani McLean got to see it up close and personal as he was sitting in the bleachers, not playing.
I think they're cheating. I've heard from Houston you're not allowed to have both a good defense and a good offense, actually. So I'm calling shenanigans.
Hey, Parker, look at it this
not
way.
Playing a good 4 quarters. I've heard that one before.
This league is so crazy. Is anyone actually willing to rule out the possibility of the Houston Cougars pulling a fast one on everyone and flipping the script this year?
We're ruining someone's season. We're ruining someone. I don't know who it is yet, but it's going to happen to one of y'all.
Is that going to be the game I go bald? Is Houston going to beat Utah? Is that what's going to happen? Is that what's going to happen? That's what y'all want to do to me?
Re-injure Cam Rising. He's going to suit up.
It's going to be.
It's going to be like the dinky. It's going to be like the dinkiest, dumbest, gimmickiest little injury.
Hits him in the eye, and like, oh, not again. There we go again.
But he will be suited up and warming up before the game, though. We know that for a fact.
He will be.
He loves a good warm-up. He loves a good warm-up.
To be fair, a senior citizen takes a long time to get loose. He's got to be warmed up for a long. We don't know when he's warming up for.
I think they have pills for that. I don't know.
Hey, speaking of senior citizens, where's our Oklahoma State rep on this show?
Yeah, where is it?
Cody, where are you?
Talked a lot of noise. Talked a lot of noise 2 weeks ago.
I want to talk Alan Bowman.
What?
Yeah.
Cody Stovall making a lot of noise? That can't be the Cody Stovall I know and love.
Never heard.
Alan Bowman not doing very well. What, Drake? How? I mean, how is that possible?
You're telling me this for the first time.
Somebody cue up Tiny
with the
Dancer.
former Tech quarterback as well. I think there's something there. I'm blaming Chris.
Hey,
Another old guy.
I know Donovan Smith. Hey, guess what? Cody has now joined us somewhere. He's
Oh gosh, this is gonna be glorious.
yeah, and he missed all the fun.
Look at that. He's here.
Somebody's ears were burning. Somebody's ears.
Welcome
were
to the
burning.
Dunk Fest, Cody. You're the
Coming
rim.
up next, we all let Cody eulogize the Oklahoma State football season. This is the Locked On Big 12 squad, where we'll also hear from Cameron Stewart of Locked On Baylor. We'll hear a bit about BYU and the Texas Tech defense. Are they just bad? Don't go anywhere. It's the Big 12 squad. We open segment number 2 with Cody Stovall. I will remember you.
It's a lovely voice.
You know what?
It was fun. It was fun. Guys. It was real. It wasn't real fun, Cody.
No, it's not. But here's the bright side, everybody. It is cross-country season, and we're number 1 in America. And I'll tell you what. One thing that we have learned over the weekend is, like I've said before, Ray Charles can see, and Stevie ain't got to wonder that Mike Gundy has problems.
What I say,
in
Ray Charles
Stillwater.
being dead makes it a lot harder for him to see than the blind thing. So if he can see this, it's really
I'm
impressive.
to the point now where it just doesn't make any sense. The only positive is the Big 12 proved that it's more bipolar than my ex-old lady. So we're still in it, baby. We're still in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Stovall. Let's go.
Look, Cody, I suggested half jokingly earlier that Houston could surprise us all and win the Big 12. Oklahoma State is not going to do that.
Hey, you have no idea. All right, we have a 37-year-old quarterback that will figure it out. He'll get it. He'll get it.
Well, you know, as you develop over the course of your career, you can progress start to finish. You work out those freshman mistakes, and eventually you'll be able to be a good quarterback.
Hey, I'm pretty sure he can get an 8th year, too, so there's a lot to look forward to.
He's in 26th grade.
Listen, he's been distracted by third-year law school. It's really hard. Like, it's a lot of school to be doing these days.
They run out of degrees to give him. Yes.
It's the pretty girl in the Office cartoon where the one guy, it's Brandon Whedon, 28 years old. Hey, pretty lady. And she's like, hey, how you doing? And then Alan Bowman walks in. Hey, pretty lady. And she immediately calls HR. She immediately calls HR.
Hey, I will have you know right now that Chris Lovell will not have that Brandon Whedon slander on here. All right? He ain't going to have it. He ain't gonna have it.
I think Brandon and Chris Lovell are the same
I will tell
age.
you, my sweet daughter, she goes to Oklahoma State, so I got a soft spot for you, man. I really do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cody, does that make you feel any better?
I lost her to the Pokes.
Well,
that's not going to help your football season, but yeah.
Chris, I'm just wondering, in your biggest failures as a father, where does that rank?
She's happy, so I'm happy. I felt like failure at the time, but I'm good now.
Well, that was a very kind response.
Yeah,
now I feel bad.
Chris, speaking of failure, the Texas Tech defense allowed 41 points, but you won the game. You did it. You won the dang game. What's going on that side of the ball? And is Texas Tech just that team that might not look great on one side, but they're going to win?
Yeah, the defense is young. They had some injuries. They did have a pick six. I think they're opportunistic. I don't think they're very good. They're improving, but they're just really young. But they dropped another interception with a kid that had broken his thumb that they put back in the game. It would have ended the game, but instead you drop it and allow Cincinnati to kick what was potentially a game-tying field goal. And I said this to you guys, some of you guys already, but I think – And again, I might be way off base here. Wouldn't be the first time. Cincinnati, I thought was pretty good, guys. There's some pieces there that I thought were very impressive. Sorsby was very good. Tech caught a break because their stud running back got hurt in the second series of the game. But their tight end is legit. That defensive line, the Godfather, Dante Corleone. You know, I'd like some more of those in Lubbock. If anybody's got any Dante Corleones under their pillow, that dude can go.
Cam,
Parker, I'd love to give you an opportunity to really agree with how good Cincinnati is. Please, the floor.
That's great. I was really going to say that Chris needs to be careful asking the Godfather to put stuff under his pillow. There's a whole movie series. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
Cam, I'm glad to see you're about as interested in this conversation as Baylor fans are in attending Baylor football games.
Yeah, just about.
Hey, it was the fire the coach crowd. That's what that is. That's the crowd.
That's really sending a message. Yeah.
I still love it. I know Cam saw it. There's a video of Mac Rhodes. It's a 15-second video. Hands on its knees, face down on the sideline during the Baylor game.
What are you thinking Cam? What are you thinking when it was 21-0? Like, seriously, what's going through your mind at that point? Like,
first quarter.
I mean, yeah, first quarter.
There was a thought that crossed my mind that Mac Rhodes, the athletic director, would be the first to the podium after the game at 21-0. I mean, seriously, that's where we're at. 21-0, though. It felt like everything the last 2 years or so. Yep.
And now they have a real easy task of going to Ames, Iowa this weekend.
Yeah.
But Matt Campbell said this is the best team they will have faced all year. So take that, Iowa.
Yeah. Iowa State's a really good team.
Typically in the second half. I love that Baylor fans are really excited about second half play. Can they finish the game and win it?
Best second half team in the conference. Best second half team in the conference.
You know, Cam, some people would call that coach speak. I would just call it lying. But hey, that's potato.
Iowa State. Don't go quarters defense against Baylor's wide receivers.
There's your
and if teams avoid that, Baylor will not win.
And that's for Jake Hatch. You, BYU this week, another win. Are you the best team in the Big 12? Because BYU fans don't still seem to think so.
Well, by record, they are. They're 2-0 in the conference. So, for the time being, they are. I think biggest thing feels like the defense is making up for a lot of what the offense is still not producing. But, hey, if you have a defense the caliber that BYU is playing with right now, it covers up a lot.
JT Westercell, you're causing an echo. I just want to, every week you do something, even the week you lose, where you can't afford to be annoying.
We're all watching Allie just try one. This one, it was guess and check from high school math, man.
I was doing my best to figure out which one of you, and of course, it was JT Westercell.
I did have something I wanted to add, if I may.
Of course you did. Yeah, please do.
Yes, we know how Utah feels.
Cody, I'll deal with you another day. But right now on the topic of Baylor, let's say this. A few weeks ago talked about Utah being the best team in the Big 12 after they beat Baylor. So now we're like BYU's the best team after they beat Baylor. How does that
BYU's undefeated, dude. BYU's undefeated. Your team lost. You're looking up at the Cougs right now. Let's go.
Wait, the Cougs? What?
Let's just all agree. Let's just all agree that Baylor is clearly the standard bearer in this.
Yes, there we go. We'll go with that.
And once you beat us, it all takes off from there.
Do we count Cincinnati's Bearcat? Can we count half of them?
Cincinnati is half good. They get to be 6 and 6.
They only have about half.
They're the cousin of a good team. They're not actually a good one.
They know a guy in high school. They know a guy who's a good team.
It was Dave Aranda's birthday this week, and to celebrate, he was reminded that he is on his third set of coordinators, 3-16 in his last 19 against FBS opponents, 0-9 against Power 4 teams at home. But Tuesday's practice was really, really good. Cameron Stewart.
Yes, and I thought it very funny. His birthday is the same day as my parents' wedding anniversary, and I'm trying to figure out which tenure was worse, Dave Aranda's at Baylor or the fact that my parents divorced 23 years ago. I'm still trying to figure out which one has better results in the end.
That is deep.
Look, we already questioned you as a father, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, you're a terrible father.
You cannot align those stars any better. Like that is.
Chris, it's just you and me, man. Parental discussions against the world.
That's right. Off the top rope, man.
My 3 kids are not going to watch this show. I'll just say that.
Did they watch last week?
You don't think there are any, Jake? You don't think there are any life lessons your kids could learn here? Like, for example, I hope how to not take yourself too seriously,
or not where to put a burrito.
My exit. It's an exit.
Or if you do decide to put a burrito there,
you had 3 kids.
With it.
Jake? I didn't know you had 3 kids. Are you still a senior at BYU?
Hey.
Oh, man. Hey, that'll do it, folks. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. We'll be here next time.
The show's done.
Hey.
Our company's based out of Utah. The bosses will be seeing this. The bosses will be seeing this.
I don't think I'm going to make it for the 3rd segment, guys.
The bosses
we're fired before then.
The bosses know. That's absolutely true, though. There's been BYU football players who've had 3 kids before they leave the football program. So, no, this is not out of the realm of possibility.
Jake, might I say, was the joke Cam was making. I don't know if that was the... They're going to put 2 and 2 together.
So, if they're watching, they can be upset all they want, but it's the truth.
Coming up in week 6, some teams are going to play football.
Honestly, the whole thing broke up on my end, so I didn't hear any of it. But
Cam, take a bow, man. Hey, take a bow, man. Yes, that's right.
This is going to be the Big 12 squad that we're going to do. Coming up next. This is the Big 12 squad. Spencer McLaughlin left. He couldn't take it anymore.
Quitter.
He just left. This week in Big 12, there are no top 25 games. We have teams that could pull off upsets. Let's start with you, Parker Ainsworth. Wouldn't it be a doll if you went on the road and beat TCU as 17-point dogs?
I mean, honestly, scoring a touchdown would be nice. The real trick here is there are
a field goal at this point, or just a field goal.
Point. Can you get a safety? The defense going to. No, the truth is there's several former Houston coaches on the TCU staff, including I think they have Dana Holgerson as a defensive analyst. A defensive analyst. A couple other people on the staff as well. Malcolm Kelly used to coach wide receivers Houston, and
Kendall Briles.
They have a Briles.
Man, boy, can Malcolm Kelly rap though.
Yeah, Malcolm Kelly can rap. Good old Longview. But the truth is that the Houston is going to, I don't know who it's going to be. Houston's going to win some game they're not supposed to win this year. I don't think it's TCU because TCU is probably looking at Houston as a chance to actually win a game. It's probably going to be someone overlooking Houston. I do think it's going to be closer than 17, though. The defense continues to be more impressive than people realize. It was literally a 3-0 game with 3 minutes left in the third quarter last week. I mean,
how did they keep it so close versus Oklahoma?
The defense. It was defense. I mean, they had Jackson Arnold in the game too. They've changed that since.
Jackson Arnold. I mean,
yeah.
Also in the Big 12 this week, Oklahoma State hosts West Virginia. Cody Stovall, call an ambulance, but not for you. Is Oklahoma State dead yet?
Yeah, I'm just reeling over here from Parker. He just kept mentioning Dana Holgerson, and I kept having flashbacks to when our offense could actually move the football, and it's got me wondering how many cases of Red Bull do I need to buy to get Dana Holgerson back in Stillwater? If we can get him in Stillwater for this weekend, we might have a shot. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
I can attest he's not as good the second time around. Just not as good the second time around.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you've watched our offense, but we forgot to play frickin' football.
I have an offense in the same boat, man.
Parker's like, brother, I don't even know what points are right now. Like, what are we arguing for?
I opened the reaction podcast with, it's been a fortnight since we've scored.
Can we just go ahead and call, if there's like Oklahoma State, Houston, we'll just call it the Unlucky Sevens Bowl?
Oh, bet the under there. Hit the under there.
Yeah.
Cameron Stewart, Baylor. Offensively, you're good for like one quarter a game. Can the Bears upset Iowa State in Ames?
Well, is it an upset if you're the toughest team they've faced? Oh. That's all I'm going to ask. I doubt it.
It's called lies, and there's damn lies. I think that's a damn lie.
Matt Campbell loves a good lie.
I feel like that was really a shot at Iowa, right? That was really a cross-state shot at Iowa.
Yeah, probably. And honestly, the best hope I think Baylor would have had against Iowa State was if the Cyclones had already won 9 games in the season, or because then they wouldn't be able to win. But with this, I think this being this early in the season, I doubt it. I think Iowa State has one of the best defenses in the country. So
true. Other games, only one more host is in play this week. Texas Tech, Chris Level, you go to Arizona. Arizona favored by a touchdown, best receiver in the country. Can Texas Tech pull off a win in a game that keeps someone alive in the Big 12 race for another week?
Yeah, and I think it's only supposed to be 105 degrees in Tucson this weekend. Woo! Yeah, so
winter.
I don't know if we know what. Oh, what'd you say?
11 Eastern kickoff.
It's brutal. Yeah, we will return home.
There will be Big 12 games that kick off 12 hours before that.
Yeah, that's right. That's I think Arizona's like weird to me. They haven't been great, they did go beat Utah. They just switched up their play caller.
Yeah, you hear that, JT Lister? Still, they haven't been great.
Well, I mean, they barely beat Northern Arizona. They're just kind of a weird team to try to figure out. They have elite pieces though. One at corner, one at wideout. Their kicker is really good. Like the quarterback is really good. I don't know if we know yet but on a Friday night in Manhattan, Kansas, none of those guys looked any good. So Tech will have to not turn all the things that they did in Pullman where they just shot themselves in the foot repeatedly. You can't turn it over. They had 10 penalties in that game. Taj Brooks did not play in that game. He gives them a chance in this one, but this is going to be like most of the games in this league, I think, in that it'll come down to a play or two at the end, because I'm sitting here, in text 2-0 in the conference. And if Cincinnati makes a couple of field goals on Saturday, maybe I'm having a different conversation. But there's a lot of games like that in this league. That's kind of what this league is.
Yeah, and it's good that even you added Arizona State in, and they're 3-1 as they're only 3-point favorites at home against 1-4 Kansas. That just shows how good the league is.
Wait, really quick, Arizona. This is an Arizona team too that you look at. They did something that no team's done since 2017. An unranked opponent winning at Utah. I still think it was more good Arizona than anything else. Their offensive line, they looked like a completely different team than the team we saw the first few weeks on film. Also, I know you guys mentioned how hot it was. Drake, you're not going to that game, are you?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because if you were, I would tell you to make sure you wear your sunscreen, because we know what happened last time.
Yeah, it was kind of bad. Sorry, guys.
It's still there.
There's
you have been kept in hurricane conditions for like a week. That thing is still there.
To be fair, we all got a lot pinker after Cam made us all get really red faced with his commentary. It's all been downhill since then.
From divorces to children, it was. I can't decide which is better, which will get all of us fired. As the moderator. I don't know where to go.
Moderate.
How do I face the bosses after this when they ask anything we need to cut out? Maybe the whole show. Jay Catch, how do you somehow beat Utah this week as you both take on BYU?
Rude. Well, on my radio show, we get Utah fans always angry at us. So we just dunk on them all week long. How about that?
Yeah, you have an extra week. So you get an extra week to savor being undefeated and Utah losing to Arizona. For Utah, you get an extra week to let it fester, the loss. JT Westercell, how are Utah fans handling this?
Not well. I mean, everyone's flying off the handle about the Cam Rising thing. This is a team that doesn't lose at home, like we already mentioned. So they've been way out of control. But the biggest thing about the bye is, hey, this gives Cam Rising 2 weeks to get healthy.
Utah fans are the most well-reasoned bunch of fans I've ever seen in my entire life. Let's be real.
Right, Drake? You would agree with that, right, Drake?
Flying off the handle? Come on now.
I thought Borba's fan base was the most well-reasoned fan base out there.
Oh
Borba's fan base is brand new. They're only about 18 months old. Chill out.
New money.
It's called passion. Look it up.
Speaking of Borba,
forget a loss quicker than they forgot about in the Nebraska one. I'm just going to say that real quick.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado and after they beat UCF, I was worried about the Dion canceling practice. What was he? We're restarting practice in the middle of that. Borba, you have 2 weeks of restarting practice now before Colorado kicks back off. Is this team a Big 12 championship contender?
I think any team in the Big 12 is a Big 12 championship contender. Realistically,
Any team?
Except for Houston.
Not you, Parker. You simmer down, not you. Or you, Cam. Any team that loses to Colorado is out.
And Oklahoma State. Don't forget Oklahoma State.
But realistically, I think they can be, right? They show that if they could play a complete game, which is the offense is clicking, the defense is clicking, and their special teams isn't catastrophic, they could beat anyone down. And I don't think any offense in this league, especially not Oklahoma State, can keep up with them, right? If Colorado's clicking, it's hard for any offense to keep up with them. It's hard to stop Travis Hunter, and it's hard to throw the ball against him. I wouldn't recommend it. So, yeah, I don't think Colorado – I wouldn't say they're going to make it to the Big 12 title game yet, but I do think that they have a really good shot if everything goes well.
That third segment was like a funeral. It was like a eulogy to what had been. Like, how did we get here? We're all
we all had kids when we were still playing football.
Restart the practice.
Yeah, we lived in Provo.
I could go into more details on my parents' marriage if you'd like. If that'll get us back on the rails, so to speak.
Tell us how it felt for you to be
the director's cut has Cam's close therapy session.
Yes, that's what it is.
What was the worst tenure? Yeah.
Cam,
I don't even really remember.
23 and a half years old, I think, is what he said.
Yeah, just about. Yeah. It was a short-lived marriage.
This could be the last one, guys. This could be the last one.
Is there any chance your parents will see this?
God, I hope so.
Doubtful. I couldn't book my dad on my own radio show today.
Not at the same time, though. That's okay.
Wait, back up. Y'all missed the thought there. Cam, you said what?
Did you say about your dad?
You kicked your dad off your radio show?
No, I couldn't book him on my own radio show today.
And the
guy's busy,
the cradle
man.
and the silver spoon. JT Webster still of Locked On Cam Stewart of Locked On Baylor, Kevin Borba of Locked On Buffs, Jay Catch of Locked On BYU Cougars. Chris Level of Locked On Texas Tech, Parker Ainsworth of Locked On Cougs, and Cody Stovall somehow didn't say the weirdest thing this week of Locked On Oklahoma State. He tried. Got damn close. He tried. This has been and always will be. Watch all of our shows if this is more of what you want, and if it is more of what you want, get help. Seek something.
We need to get better help back here. This is an adverse.
We covered your favorite team every day throughout the season. Don't forget, I'll have you covered every day as well with Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. This has been the Dose Grande Squad.